Ready? Okay, then let's go. We're going to our first speaker, and that is Natacha Pennycooke. She is an award-winning psychotherapist, mindset shift coach, keynote speaker, workshop facilitator, corporate consultant, and the CEO of Natacha Cook Psychotherapy, NPP. NPP is a private group practice of therapists who help people struggling with fear and self-doubt from trauma, anxiety, and depression to heal, thrive, and live their very best life. As a mind shift coach, Natacha believes that understanding the power of the mind is key to unlocking and unblocking our greatest potential. She helps high-achieving professionals shift their mindset away from internalizing limiting beliefs and fears and into their power and purpose to create the thriving life they want. As a consultant, Natacha specializing in facilitating wellness workshops to create awareness and building mental health strategies for long-term change, focusing on the mental health aspects of emotional safety and trust. Natacha has shared her expertise at international and national psychological conferences and is sought after for her passionate speaking style to speak at various corporate and community events worldwide. Most recently, Natacha presented at the 54th convention of the Association of Black Psychologists. Natacha has volunteered with a number of community organizations in the Toronto area and is the recipient of the By Blacks People Choice Award for Best Canadian Counselor of 2020. Most recently, she was nominated for the 2023 and 2024 RBC Canadian Woman Entrepreneur Awards. Come on now, people. Come on now. Show her some love before she even starts to speak. Her talk today is Empowering Black Woman Magic, Embracing a Growth Mindset. Let's give a warm, true, revolutionary Congresswoman Black welcome to Natacha. Natacha, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to hear you. I got
Hello,
my
hello.
notepad, my friend. I got my notepad. I'm ready. Okay, I'm coming offline.
Good,
So you,
good, good, good.
I'm putting the mic over to you.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you are well. I'm so excited to be here with all of you this afternoon. And I know wherever you're coming from, we have people all over Canada, all over the world that are joining. So sit back, get your notebook, like Nicole said. We are really going to be diving in to our mindset. So, Nicole, I know you did this with everybody, and I love that you did. Thank you for doing it. But let's do a check-in because I know that there's some people who didn't get a chance to. So, before I start any talk, I like to do that mental health check-in. Why? We don't spend enough time checking in on our mental health. When our physical health is ailing, we go to a doctor. We understand our eye hurts, our arm hurts, our leg hurts. But our mental health, I want us to get into daily, the daily habit of doing these mental health check-ins. So go ahead in the chat. How would you describe your current mental health right now in this moment? Are you a 1? You're doing great. You're kind of doing so-so. You're exhausted, but hanging on, or you feel absolutely totally burnt out. All right, I'm watching the chat. I have a lot of so-sos. I have some exhausted and burnt outs, so-sos, right? A lot of people are in that place. Someone's doing good. I have someone doing great. Another exhausted, great, exhausted, so-so. You know, it's so important that we take that pause to recognize what our mental health is, because our mental health in that moment sets the precedent for the day and also sets the precedent of what our mindset is, how we're able to use and operationalize our mindset. So this is really important, really good. Keep putting that in the chat. I want everyone here to do that mental health check-in so that you're holding yourself accountable in our conversation today. So yes, we are talking about empowering Black women magic, embracing a growth mindset. As Black women, we wear multiple hats. Does that resonate with you? Do you wear multiple hats? I do. And what happens is we are so used to giving and giving and giving. we do not spend enough time checking in on ourselves. So, this is exactly what you're doing today. This is time for you to sit back, to relax, and to have you taken care of. Yes, I'm seeing some 100% claps in the chat. Yes, you understand what I mean. So, I want you to know, dear Black woman, your mindset is a powerful tool. I want you to allow your light to shine from the inside out. I want you to show yourself self love because self love is the greatest love of all. Love yourself, respect yourself, be good to yourself first, because if you're not, you can't be loving and respectful to those in your life, your spouses, your children, your work, your loved ones, those that you care for. I want you to recognize and to remember you matter, you count, and above all, you are important. You are important. And this is what this is all about, recognizing that importance, recognizing that worth. All right. So, in the chat, I'm throwing it back to all of you out there. What is mindset? I'm going to ask you that. What is mindset? I'm watching the chat very closely. So you tell me what mindset is. I feel like mindset is this thing where a lot of people are talking about right now, right? Whether it's on TikTok or Instagram or LinkedIn, everyone is talking about mindset. So let me throw that to you. What is mindset? What have you heard? I'm Elaine. Hi, Elaine. It's how you feel mentally. Someone's saying, I lost my mindset during the pandemic. I hear you. I feel you. It's our mental focus. It's our attitude about environments, how you see the world, your place in it, the belief in yourself. Great. Oh gosh, I love this. So much happening in the chat. Yes, keep going. It's the way that you program your mind for a prolonged period of time. Yes, it's your feeling, your intuition, your thoughts, how your thoughts affect your life. The mindset is a combination of emotions and thoughts and plus and different things. Yes, 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 yes. You are all there. So our mindset is the lens through which you and myself, we view ourselves, how we view our intelligence, our intellect, our abilities, how you view your personal, your professional qualities, how you see the world around you and how it impacts you. Mindset really influences every aspect of your life. Let me say that again, okay? Your mindset impacts and influences every aspect of your life. The decisions that you make, the feelings that you have, how you action things, right? It's our attitudes and our thoughts and impacts our behaviors or action. Ultimately, mindset impacts our success. Okay? It impacts our success. It's really important that from a mindset perspective, we're able to reframe our thinking, shift our thinking, because that is ultimately what impacts the rest of our life. If we believe in ourselves, then we can put ourselves in a position to reframe our thinking. I want you all to know that there is power in your thoughts and power in your voice. And this today is about giving yourself permission to adopt a mindset that aligns better with who you are and who you are thriving to be. So, what is mindset? Really, a lot of times we fall into sometimes these two categories, sometimes a mix of both. I have seen myself in a mix of both. So I know all of you out there have as well. So there is fixed mindset and there is a growth mindset. So a fixed mindset, I'm just going to look at my other screen right here. So a fixed mindset is the fixed mindset is that believe that efforts are worthless and avoids discomfort. Has anyone ever been in situations where like, oh, I really think I should be doing this, but it feels really uncomfortable? If you've ever been in that, definitely give me a hands up. I know that I have. So having a fixed mindset is when you're in those situations and you're like, I am not pushing forward. I'm not going forward with that because wanting to avoid those challenges. And again, yeah, I see, yes, most definitely hands up in the chat. Thank you. I have been there as well. A fixed mindset avoids those challenges. A fixed mindset feels threatened by other people's success constantly. So that means the mindset is fixed. Fixed mindset stays in the comfort zone. Fixed mindset might have the thoughts of failure is the limit of my ability, right? So that's what the fixed mindset is. What we're doing here today with myself and all of my fantastic speakers and panelists here on a Wellness Revolution, we are thriving to go, or we are striving to go towards a growth mindset. Can everyone put in a chat for me, growth mindset? Because I want you to hold yourself accountable that we're working on having a growth mindset. So the growth mindset is, yes, thank you, growth mindset, growth mindset. Growth mindset is belief in your own abilities and your intellect. It's embracing discomfort and uncertainty. Of course, if we try something new, that's going to be uncomfortable and we don't know what's going to be the outcome. But a growth mindset believes enough in your ability to try and to do that really difficult thing. Growth mindset sees challenges as goals as opportunities to learn and grow from, right? Opportunities to learn and grow from. We're not going to do it perfectly, right? Perfectly. And we are still going in it. That's a growth mindset. With the growth mindset, you develop resiliency and perseverance to go through. And the thoughts that go along with the growth mindset is failure is an opportunity for growth. That is what grounds the growth mindset, an opportunity for growth. Not that failure is based on the limits of my own abilities, but failure is an opportunity to learn and to grow and to strive and to persevere and to build resiliency, right? And that's what we're working on today. Now, oops. Okay, perfect. So today I want you to learn how to embrace that growth mindset. I love that, Amanda. Thank you. Failure-based, the limit of my ability is the fixed mindset. Then success is my ability with no limits. Yes, success is your ability with no limits, not limiting yourself. And that's what I want today for all of you to embrace a growth mindset. So, in order to do that, I'm going to introduce you to three things. And most of you have heard these three things already, but I'm going to reintroduce them to you. Okay? So, in the chat, please tell me when you think of self worth, what comes to mind? Low pop quiz. When you think of self worth, what comes to mind? What comes to mind when you think of self worth? How you value yourself, love, money, yes, self esteem. Yes. Anyone else? When you think of yourself, what you allow, yes, that I am enough. Love that. Self worth, esteem, yes, 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 yes. So that is exactly it. Kindness to self, healthy boundaries. Amazing. I love all this. Someone said self-esteem. Yes. My value never changes regardless of my circumstances. Yes, that is self-worth. So we're going to talk about these three things: self-esteem, self-confidence, and this other self. Okay, let's go into the self-confidence. Self-confidence is the ability that is the belief, that I have the ability. It is the belief that you have the ability. Just like what I was saying on the growth mindset, it's that belief that you have the ability. The idea of self-confidence is, we've all tried and done tasks before that we didn't do well on. But what happens with self-confidence is the more you do a task, the better you get at the task. You have to have your belief in your ability that you can do the task. So self-confidence is connected to I can, the belief that I can. That's connected to your growth mindset. That is how you're going to embrace a growth mindset, believing that you can. Even if it's hard, even if you fail, even if it's challenging, even if you've never done it before, it's believing that you can. Okay? So I can do this. I can manage this. I can figure this out. I can get through this. I can accomplish this. I can excel at this. I can master this. I can teach this. It is I can. All right. Everyone in the chat, say I can. Let's work on that growth mindset right now. I can. All right. I know I can do this. I can. Yes, I can. That is really what self confidence is, right? A lot of times we walk around and we navigate the world like, I don't have a good self confidence. I need to work on my self confidence. Self confidence is, I know I can do this. I can. I can. I love it. Keep it coming in the chat. So that question mark one that was there in the three bubbles, that is self-efficacy. Has anyone heard of self-efficacy before? Give me some hands up if you've heard of self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is the belief in yourself that you can do the hard stuff. Self-efficacy is the belief that you can do the hard stuff. It's the idea that, I can do hard things. I have done hard things. Therefore, I will do hard things again. Unfortunately, what happens with all of us is that when we're going through something and it's hard and it's challenging and it's a big obstacle and we're struggling, a lot of times when we get through that, we don't stop and say, you know what? Yeah, that was hard, but look what I did. We don't do that enough. We don't look at our wins enough. And our wins are directly connected to self efficacy, which is directly connected to fostering a growth mindset. When we do hard things, I know all of us have done hard things before. Put it in the chat for me. What's something hard that you have done and that you're so proud that you have accomplished? Go ahead, hit that in the chat now, right? So it's the belief in yourself you can do the hard stuff and you can and you have done it. Therefore, you will do it again. Yes, raising my children. Yes, I love that. Public speaking, raising four girls. My hat's off to you. I have one son and it is definitely challenging. Changing careers. Congratulations. Job interviews. Yes. Finishing my master's of education while pregnant. Congrats. Denouncing my abuser. Amen to that. Raising my children, moving cities, right? These are all hard things. Doing something that you were afraid of doing after COVID, amazing. You know what? Thank you, everyone, for sharing. Because you putting it out there, you being vulnerable in this moment, what you're doing is you're changing your mindset. You're saying, I can do hard things. I have done hard things. Therefore, I will do hard things again. Okay. So that is self-efficacy. And again, self-efficacy, it's that belief in ourselves to do the hard things, to achieve your goals, to handle conflict, to deal with and to succeed in a difficult situation. So self-efficacy and growth mindset, again, they're very much linked. So look at this. Low self-efficacy is avoiding challenging tasks. It's the belief that difficult tasks and situations are beyond our capabilities. Low self-efficacy focus on personal failings and negative outcomes, and quickly loses confidence in personal abilities. That is tied. Low self-efficacy is tied to a fixed mindset attached to a growth mindset. So develop deeper interest in activities, form a stronger sense of commitment to interest in activities, recover quickly from setbacks and disappointments. Because if you remember from the growth mindset, you're fostering that perseverance and that resiliency to recover quickly from setbacks, quickly from disappointment. And high efficacy, view challenging problems as tasks to be mastered. All right? Okay. So self-efficacy is I can and I have, therefore I will. Yes, Bert, I love that. I can do hard things. I will do hard things. Thank you, Bert, for that. Go in the chat and put in I will. Let's do that. Yes, period, mic drop. Yes, perseverance. Yes, I will. Okay. So, in order for all of us to succeed, we need a sense of self efficacy to struggle together as a community with resiliency and self compassion to meet the inevitable obstacles and inequities of life. As women, as Black women, we have faced so many inequities, but we need that self efficacy to persevere, to build resiliency, to build self compassion so we can continue to succeed. All right. So let's move on to self esteem. Self esteem is the belief in our internal self worth. So many times in life, in personal and professional, self worth, we may think of our self worth as tied to the things that we do, the output we give. But self esteem is the belief in our internal self worth. That is our self worth that's already there when we were born. It's the belief in our humanness, in our imperfections, and having that self worth that we are perfect just the way we are in our imperfections, in our humanness, good enough as we are. So self esteem is I am. It is I am. I am good enough. I am amazing. I am. I am. Please in the chat, tell me what you are. I am what? Finish that sentence. I am what? I am good enough. I am amazing. I am exceptional. I am God fearing. I am gifted. I am blessed. I am authentic. I am strong. I am victorious. Yes. I am love. I am good enough. I am unique. I am everything. I am a change maker. I am blessed. I am here. I am enough. Yes. Keep it going. I am strong. I am worthy. I love that. All of that. So sometimes in our lives, we have to be completely shaken up, changed, rearranged, and repositioned so we can be in the place that we are meant to be. I am a child of God. I am strong. I love this. Keep going in the chat because we have to be shaken up and rearranged so we can be exactly where we're meant to be. And we cannot be exactly where we're meant to be if we are holding on tight to a fixed mindset. We have to navigate towards a growth mindset. So let's talk about this comfort zone. I love teaching on this, okay? Because a lot of us, we stay in our comfort zone. And if we stay in our comfort zone, right, this zone right here, yes, it's safe. Yes, you're in control. There's also low risk and there's low reward. And it's tied to a fixed mindset. Now, don't get me wrong, being comfortable is great. But as a really good friend and colleague of mine says, we have to start being comfortable with the uncomfortable. We have to start being comfortable with uncomfortable in order to grow. So, right beyond the comfort zone, we have the fear zone. The fear zone. We have all been in the fear zone multiple different times in our life for different things. In the fear zone, there's low self confidence because we haven't done that task enough. We haven't practiced the task enough to become confident at it. We find excuses to stay there, like, oh, I'm not sure, I'm not ready. I don't know what that's going to be like. It's uncertain. And we're very much impacted and affected by other people's opinions. I know I have been there. That's the fear zone. Now, the hardest thing about moving through these zones is the fear zone. And what I call this line over here, I call that the fear hump. It's the hump we have to get over to navigate out of that fear zone. Think of it as a mountain that we have to climb, right? But once we give ourselves permission and allowance fear hump, we get to learning zone. A learning zone is this beautiful space, yes, that stretches yourself so you could let go, so you can learn. That is the learning zone. In the learning zone, we face challenges, we learn to problem solve, we acquire new skills, and we're extending our comfort zone. And in the learning zone, once we get through that learning zone, we extend, we get into this beautiful zone over here that is the growth zone. That is the growth zone. The growth zone is the goals that come out of having a growth mindset about pushing forward or having high self efficacy. The growth zone is where you find your purpose, where you live out your dreams, where you set new goals, where you conquer objectives, where you learn and you thrive, right? Where you learn and you thrive. So as we're sitting here, I want you to think of what is it? And you may want to write this down. What are some of the goals that you have? Because I will tell you, your goals live right here in that growth zone. And your fears over here are stopping you from learning and growing, right? So make yourself that list. So a growth mindset is a decision. And that's what I want all of you today to do. I want you to make a decision that you are going to live in a growth mindset and from a growth mindset. And in order to do that, I want you to scan this QR code. I have a freebie for you. This freebie is called the Goal Accelerator. It's from my new program, the Accelerator Leader. And I want everyone to have this Goal Accelerator worksheet. So go ahead, take a screenshot of that. Take a screenshot, fill it in, and you will get your freebie. And your freebie looks something like this. I will come back. I will make sure this QR code comes back. Okay. This is the Goal Accelerator worksheet. And this is a worksheet that is my new program, the Accelerator Leader. So with this worksheet, what I want you to do, think about what your goal is. Remember, I got you to think about what your fear has been and what your goals are. This is the worksheet for you to put down all your goals, whether they are personal, whether they are professional, they're coming from you. Write down your goals and start thinking, what is it that I need to complete this goal? What items do I need to complete this goal? And what help do I need to complete this goal? As women, as Black women, we are not good, or we have not been good. I'll reframe my own thinking. We have not historically been good at asking for help. But all of you today who are following, we're here to shift our mindset. In order to live in a growth mindset, we have to ask for help. So in order to achieve the goals that you are writing down, who do you need? What items? And who do you have around you that can help you accelerate these goals? Okay. So let me go back. Okay. So we have our goals here. What I want to do is invite everyone to my new program, the Accelerator Leader. Once you get this QR code, you get your sheet, you have all the information there. So as we wrap up today, there's been so much, so much. I could stay here and talk to you for hours about this, but I want you to put in chat, what is one thing that you've learned today? What is one thing that you are taking away on learning how to embrace a growth mindset, in learning how to accelerate your success? What's one thing that you're taking away? All right, I have someone saying that the QR code didn't take you to the sheet, but to the website. It should take you, the QR code, it should take you to a form, fill that out, and then you'll get the sheet as an email to you. Okay. And if that doesn't work, I will contact my team and see if we get that working for you as soon as possible. All right, so as we wrap, it worked. Okay, Nicole, thank you. Thank you so much, Nicole, for checking. All right, so as we're wrapping up today, I love that everyone's putting what they learned. Okay. Let's say this pledge together so we can make that pledge to ourselves here and now that we are going to embrace a growth mindset. So say this with me. I'm going to look at my other screen because it's small on over here. Okay. So we are embracing a growth mindset pledge. So whether you are sitting or standing, just get into a good state of mind where you can fully embrace this pledge and put your name in there. So today, I, Natasha, I make a pledge to myself to embrace a growth mindset. I recognize that my beliefs about myself and my abilities shape my reality, and I am committed, so committed to cultivating a mindset of growth and of possibility. I choose to believe in my potential and to view challenges as opportunities for learning and for growth. I pledge to nurture my confidence and to remind myself that I matter and I am worthy of success. Yes, 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 you are. I will navigate life's ups and downs with determination and resilience, knowing that every experience that I have is an opportunity for growth. Today, I, Natasha, affirm my commitment to myself to embrace a growth mindset and to unlock my fullest and my greatest potential. Okay. If you need to take a screenshot of this pledge, please do. Okay. So here's the QR code again. Again, everyone, I want to personally invite you to my new program, The Accelerated Leader. We kick off May, but forever, whoever signs up by this weekend, you will get an extra bonus with me. So go ahead. All the information is there, the QR code. You will get your goal accelerator sheet. And let's make sure that we are shifting, that we are growing, that we are embracing a growth mindset together. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm Natacha Pennycooke. It has been lovely to be here with you this afternoon.
Woo! Listen, I sat up tall in my chair.
Yes. You
Dr.
better.
Natasha, okay? Dr. Natasha, come on. You know, you're not one of my favorite people. I'm going to be checking out your practice because I'm looking for a therapist.
Yes, yes.
I'm
We
not
have,
afraid. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm looking for one,
yes, yes.
and so we're going to be chatting.
Okay, sounds good. We have Black women practitioners in our practice. Right now, we are a group of 5. So definitely reach out.
Yes. So that was fulfilling. And I recognize, and I saw I love the engagement. Folks, you are on fire. Like
Yes.
this girl is on fire. 118 of you are in there. You're on fire. And one of the things I love, Natasha, was the transparency. People were being transparent, like, how do I feel? And you had the positive thoughts, but realistically, I felt people sharing that they were feeling depressed, exhausted, some were hanging on, and the so-so. And let's be honest, you know, every day can feel differently. And sometimes we look at social media and we look at our friends and we see them showing up, or we see people coming to work and they're like, yay! But we don't know what's happening at home. We don't know what's going on in their cars. And sometimes we compare ourselves to how others are feeling. And I love this question from Sabrina in the chat, in the Q&A, and she says, how do you suggest training your thoughts and limit negative thinking? And I think that's so good because, when we talk about the neural pathways and let's go into the brain a little bit, because I think people, I'm going to set the context just a little more before you answer, because I know you're going to get your thoughts together. Everybody on the line, your mind is your brain and your brain is your mind. If you have been attending the Wellness Revolution, Dr. Chrissy Doyle Thomas, our neuroscientist, has taught us our mind is our brain and our brain is our mind. Where does your mind live? Your thoughts, your emotion. It lives in this big head right here. It's and we forget, we or sometimes we're not taught that the brain is what is the main apparatus controlling all these feelings and stuff like that. So, Dr. Natasha, how do you suggest training your thoughts to limit your negative thinking?
Yes, I love this question. Thank you, Sabrina, for this question and everyone engaging because
Oh, Dr. Natasha froze. Hold on. Is it just my screen? Oh, Natasha froze. Now,
oh, hello,
I don't.
hello, hello,
Okay, you
hello.
froze a bit, Natasha. Okay, just stop it.
Okay,
Okay, start again. Go ahead.
okay, I will start again. Okay,
Right.
oh, my internet. All right. So this is the question. This is a great question. It's the how question. So basically, how we do this, we have to get into the habit of daily training our brain.
Mhm.
So like that pledge that I put, maybe use that every morning that you wake up and every night before your head hits the pillow. A lot of people talk about positive affirmations. I personally love positive affirmations because they are training for the brain. It is this idea that, I am enough, I am amazing, you're saying these acts yourself every day. Because what happens is we do need that. The world much negative, so much negative. And unfortunately, especially as Black women, we are navigating a world that doesn't want to see us and hear us, doesn't want to recognize our power. We have to stand in our power. We have to make sure that before we walk out of that door every day, we have our armor on and we have our affirmations. We have something to hold on to as we go out into that world. So the how is what are you saying to yourself? How are you speaking with yourself? How are you using the power of you and your voice to shift how you think, to shift your mindset? It needs to come from within. And for a lot of us, I'll put myself in there at one time, that is challenging. You have to make it a daily practice. Those affirmations are really powerful, right? So I can definitely share with you some more affirmations. I am
Great.
enough. I am powerful. I can. I will. I have. And start from there. That's the beginning foundational piece of the how. Checking in with yourself is another how, like I did today. Also, another how is recognizing what are my wins today. Again, before your head hits that pillow at night, go through your day. What are my wins? We all have something that we won at that day. Doesn't matter how small or how large, but we have to get into the habit, into the mindset of recognizing our win, because that our wins of the day, because that will bring out gratitude and kindness and self-compassion. We have to get into that headspace because the world is unkind. We have to go into it with our armors up, and this is a way how we build up our armor.
Thank you, Dr. Natasha. And you know what? One of the things, a couple of things you said really there, and I want people to understand, people don't realize that saying affirmations, they may just think it's like, it's this boring thing, or why do I say it? It actually changes your neural pathways. And so knowing when you're being told to say affirmation, we are quite are prone to repeating the negative things we believe about ourselves or people say about ourselves. And so
Yes.
you have to, in order to get to replace the old, you have to replace it with something new. So depending on where you're at, listen to what the doc is saying. You got to replace that thought. And that is so important. And I love, you see, you're my sister. Today's the first day we're meeting. We've done the little social media, but we're meeting and I can't wait to hug you. And then when you talked about the wins at the end of the day, during COVID, I created my victory box. So what I do with my victory box and butterflies, I love butterflies, is that I would take a small piece of paper and write down a win or what I would call a victory. And because we forget, our natural proclivity is to forget. And so I would go back into that box and remind myself of something that happened because it's so easy. And then you even forget. And the word I heard you say, but not say, is consistency. So when we talk about
Yeah.
conscious mind, conscious living, in order to make the affirmations to actually have an effect, you have to
Mm.
be consistent. It's not 21 days, people, it's 90 days. 21 days is just the start of the true commitment. But you do that for 90 days, that's when the shift will happen. So I'm
Yes.
going to take one more question. I see
Yes,
there's
there's
one more question
one.
in the chat.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is a good one too.
what can help attain a growth mindset in the midst of going through PTSD? So
PTSD,
I'm going to take this
yes.
question
I
and
will
then,
take this question.
yes, yes.
Yes, yes. All right. So, for those of you out there who may not be familiar, PTSD is an acronym for post traumatic stress disorder. And it comes across when we as people go through a stressful event, and that event becomes traumatic because we don't have the skills to cope with the stress from that event. So, therefore, that event becomes a trauma. And it becomes a trauma because we're not eating well, we're not sleeping, we're having reoccurring thoughts of this thing. We may be having flashbacks of the thing. We might be hyper vigilant, like scared and on guard of something that may happen. Now, as we want to cultivate a growth mindset, but we're going through something traumatic, we need to work in tandem. We have to work on healing that trauma. All right. So we need to start with healing that trauma. And how you can start with healing that trauma, that's where psychotherapy can come in with myself or another colleague or one of the members on my team to go through, okay, what happened? What's the fear that's there? Um, PTSD trauma, these are anxiety-based disorders. And anxiety-based disorders run on fear. I'm going to share this with you. It's called the anxiety equation. I use this with my coaching clients and my psychotherapy clients. So get out a piece of paper. The anxiety equation is anxiety equals danger divided by coping. Okay. Anxiety equals danger divided by coping. Okay. Things seem very dangerous. And when danger is large, our anxiety is also very large. Okay. The reason why it's really our anxiety is large is because the danger, we don't know the outcome. It's terrifying, it's scary, we're afraid. And that makes our anxiety shoot up off the roof. And I see that a lot with my clients and our clients who are dealing with trauma. So, where the coping comes in, right? Danger divided by coping. When our coping is small, danger takes over. What we need to do to work on the PTSD, we need to increase our coping. And that is one of the biggest keys of dealing with trauma. We have to go through the hurt and the pain of trauma. We also have to think of how can I increase my coping? And that coping could be I'm crying every day. Okay. What do I need to do? Do you need a safe space where you can let it out? Do you need someone who understands? Do you need a community who gets it? Do you need to physically get out of an environment? However, you need to cope with what the danger is, we need to work on that coping. When coping is large, danger becomes smaller. It doesn't seem so dangerous anymore because we know how to deal with it. And when danger is small, anxiety is small also. Okay. So when we could increase our coping, it gives us more capacity to work on our growth mindset, and coping will naturally start working on our growth mindset as well.
Well, you guys got listen, do you understand the investment of time that you made today has given you already with our first speaker strategies for a growth mindset, knowing if you're in a fixed mindset, what you need to shift, and operating with no judgment. And listen, coping builds capacity.
Yes.
You're dropping those gems there. And, and my friends, my sisters online, I encourage you to share some of what you've learned today with your friends, with your family.